Shalom. Kalalayam la Alahayanawa Yahweh Bashim Yoshai Bashim Kakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Salutation unto the elect of the brother pushing the truth and the sisters are listening and learning and being faithful. Right, so this lesson here, going into basically the drafting and World War III and whatnot. So I'm gonna read a little in this article here, from Fox News, right? Or Fox 21 News. God willing, if I remember, I could put the link in the comments for you, to read on about it. So we go read down here and just grab some precepts after, right? So it say, can I be drafted? Young people worry about potential draft amid Russia and Ukraine crisis, right? So we'll start from here. It says, as Russia continues its invasion of Ukraine, many young Americans are now wondering, will I be drafted? Currently, U.S. troops are being shifted to Germany as President Joe Biden vows to stand up to Putin via harsh sanctions, defend NATO allies, and support Ukraine's fight for independence. Right? So the war, you already see, obviously this is not World War III, but it is just the start of it. This is just the start. So over here for us now, especially in the Caribbean and other countries, we know about the war, but we're not experiencing any backlash from it. You understand? So it's feeling perfectly normal, perfectly fine. Because our people over here, they will just go and party and things like normal. They ain't keeping the eyes open about what's going on right now. So let's continue down. It says, so far Biden has denied any plans to send American troops to Ukraine to fight. However, that has not stopped young people, particularly those of drafting age 18 to 25, from wondering or worrying about whether they will be required to join the military if the situation grows worse. Yeah, because over there, apparently they're not seeing no end to it. So it's like, they're worried now. They say a draft is defined as a mandatory enrollment of individuals into the armed service, right? So, as I mentioned, the age is 8 to 25, right? That is a law in America. That's a sanction. So, if it comes to, or when shit hit the fan and they decide, hey, we gotta start drafting, you will be forced to fight in the army. So, you never hold a gun in your life. The only guns you know about is your little shooting game like Call of Duty or whatever. You understand? That is what drafting is. So that is what they worried about, right? Let's say according to USA government, the United States military has been all volunteer since 1973, but an act of Congress could still reinstate the draft in case of a national emergency. Right, and that's what they're worried about. Let's say although talks of women registering with selective service have circulated, women remain excluded from any potential drafts after Congress dropped a provision in December 2021. Today, only men ages 18 to 25 who are U.S. citizens or are immigrants would be required to sign up. Right, so whether you foreign or whether you are a citizen, once you're a male of that age, you'll be forced. But yet still, they excluding the females. Well, excluding the females. They want equal rights. Let them get equal amount of bullets too. You understand? But anyways, moving on. Let's say, however, there are exceptions for the age group, including men who are incarcerated or hospitalized or institutionalized for medical reasons, and men who are continually confined to a residence, hospital, or institution. Right? So obviously, people who sick or in jail, they can participate, right? That is the excuse basically, right? Exemptions also apply to some transgender individuals, including people who were born female and have changed to their gender male. Well, they want to be males, so why they being excluded, right? If the male and the female equal, why they being excluded? You understand? Why they being excluded? Anyways, it say exemptions do not apply to the transgender woman, as US citizens or immigrants who are born male and have changed their role to female would be required to serve them. What is the whole purpose of all the law? You know, if they're changing into a woman, it's to be treated like a woman, so that shouldn't be it. So, I mean, I don't care. You know, send both of them out. You know, let them get boiled because they're supposed to be put to death anyway, right? But I mean, it's just showing you a hole in the law, right? It don't make any sense. But anyways, yeah, finish there. So it's a who must register? Oh shit. Yeah, it's a the biggest question is how bad would things need to be for Congress to enact a draft? Right? Drafts have been utilized many times during America's history, including the Civil War, World War I, World War II, and the Vietnam War. The last man inducted entered the US Army on June 30, 1973 during the Vietnam War. During that conflict alone, right, 1,857,304 men were inducted, right? So you see the amount of men that had was to go in that war, and you know they were forced against their will, basically, to go and fight, right? And especially now, as our brother mentioned, who also went into this, right? I believe the name of his channel was Guide Garments from Bosra 144 Bar, right? He did a short video on this, and as the brother mentioned, is like who gonna want to fight for modern day Babylon right now, because all these laws that they're forcing upon the people, and allowing all these abominable things to come to pass, right? Nobody not gonna really feel motivated to fight for that, because they know if they win, right, they just gonna have to go back to that same unhealthy lifestyle, you know, and it's just off, right? So the people who are forcing him, right, a lot of them gonna be people who are against the transgender, who are against the pride parades and all these things. You understand? But I also mentioned, hey, some of them might be recruited and then during the war they wanna go AWOL. Yeah, them don't want to party, them gonna bust out. I'm going to bust out. So, hey, so let me get into some scriptures here now. We're going to start with Revelation 11 and 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Right? What is that third woe? The third woe is World War III. Right? So, World War III fastly approaching. Right? As I mentioned earlier, right? The war between Russia and Ukraine is just the beginning of all these things that come into pass. You understand? Um, and basically, reason why drafting is being so um is basically being a thing right now that popping up, right? It's because people seeing it coming to pass. Because I mean, everybody aligning with Russia, right? And funny, I'm studying how a brother sent a TikTok video, but I can't get it on this phone, right? It will take too long, right? But this a brother sent a video with bricks. They basically made their own dollar bills, right? And they dumped the US dollar. You understand? Because hey, as I was going and see, all these other nations, they come in leadership with Russia, right? And leaving out from America. You understand? And that's the funny thing, because even NATO gonna do the same thing, right? NATO gonna do the same thing. It's Revelation 17:16. It say, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, 10 horns is NATO, right? It say, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire, right? The reason why NATO gonna hate the whore, which is Babylon the Great, which is America, right, is because they did the EU and NATO dirty too. You understand? Because the scripture even goes into that in Psalms 55:20, right? Because all these other nations, they broke all the covenant as it say here, right? I'm gonna read it first and then I'll expound. It say Psalm 55:20, it say he had put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant, right? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were drawn swords, right? So it's as it say here, right? You know, he put his hands against such as be with peace with him, right? Because you're making treaties or you're signing treaties with certain nations and making allies or whatever it is, but you're backstabbing them. So what you think gonna happen now with all the yeah? What do you think gonna happen now with all these other nations that you basically crossed over? Right? They're gonna be mad, they're gonna be angry. And now they seen the opportunity to take it out on you. You understand? Because big brother Russia now, he making his stand, right? And he invited all the other nations that you screwed over, to come and join you with them for the destruction of Babylon. You understand? Because they seen the confidence in Putin, you know. These nations and them seeing it in scriptures too, because we bringing it out, we prophesying against Babylon, right? And they seeing it, and the fact that we prophesying against they know, and they knowing that they really and truly have the weapons to do so, because the Lord put the spirit on them to do so. The Lord created the smith, right, that blew the coal in the fire, right? So the Lord put the spirit on these men to create these weapons that they have, right? So it come like they billing, and they have the confidence backed by us, right? Because how we prophesying about it, and they know that we have no in-depth insight of what they actually have going on in there. We know of certain weapons and things that they have. You understand? But we just say we know it detail for detail. We don't know, right? But the fact that we prophesying about it through the Bible, right? That is what make them confident that much. You understand? Especially Putin, because he are now quoting scripture and saying, "Hey, your country gonna melt with fervent heat." You understand? Well, not Putin, but his general Medvedev, I believe, is his name. You understand? He quoting scripture. They're confident, right? That's scriptural. But the pride of these devils, which the devils are talking about is the one in America, right? But the pride of them, that leads much to the Obadiah now, right? You see here, right? I'll read verse 3 first. Right, the Obadiah 1 and 3, it say, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Yeah, that's the pride of them, because hey, imagine the whole world coming up against you and your pride still up there, you saying, hey, who go bring it down to the ground? Well, hey, the Lord is the one that gonna do it, he using these other nations to do it. You understand? He doing it, right? And going back to even match with the Psalm 55:20, I read this, and also the Revelation 17 and 16, Obadiah 1 and 7, right? It say, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Right? So all thy confederacy, right? All these the allies that they have, right? EU and NATO too, right? They're gonna leave off from him, right? All the confederacy. It say the men that were at peace with him, right? Would he have deceived thee? Yeah, because China and them, right? Because some other countries, but you know, at that point in time, that was making them feel like, hey, we cool with you, we normal thing, whatever it is, basically deceiving them, and now you see now they just jump across, right? Because they probably was using America for whatever it is they need, or until they finish preparing what they had to prepare, and then hey, they jump across to Russia. You understand? They jump across to Russia. Whether they was digging up information, whether they was building their own tech, right? Because we know that is something in the making for sure. right? But hey, all these nations and them, they just deceive them. They basically all the time they thought even after they screw them over, they just stick with them because America is the big boy. But now, they're turning on them, right? They say they that eat thy bread have laid a wood under her, right? All that them taxes and they owing so much money. You understand? They owing so much money, right? That's why in verse 8 it says, shall I not in that day this say the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understand unto the mount of Esau? Yeah. And thy mighty men, O Teman, right? Because Teman is the tribe that, is like the small tribe of Edom now, right? It says, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Yeah, the Lord gonna put all of them to death, right? And the ones that survive, right, they're gonna be bound with chains, right? They're gonna be bound with chains and fetters of iron. Yeah, that is how it's gonna be. And the Lord using these other nations to get it started, and then hey, as they take down Babylon now, is because why? The Lord gonna come in because we know they're gonna turn the sword against Jake after, right? But the Lord not gonna allow that to happen. He's gonna beam up his elect and hey, Lord gonna run through this eight boy. He's gonna run through this eight. I should tell you how sure they're gonna be. The Lord gonna magnify his name, boy. The Lord gonna magnify his name, right? So I wanted to go into a little bit into Jeremiah too. I mean Joel too. You know. Let's see here. Yeah, I can start from verse 1 and go down. Yeah. It says Joel 2 and 1. Right? You see at the top it says terrible visitation. Joel 2 and 1 it says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Right? The day of darkness and of gloominess, the day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. In a great people and a strong, there had not been ever the like, yea, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. It say a fire devoured them, so like a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. Right, so you see as we're talking about America, right, the other nations and them, right? Now, well and truly this talking about the Lord, you understand? Lord coming back and whatnot, right? But we know the other nations gonna do what they have to do first, right? But this fire, I talking about a fire before them and behind them flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before, right? Them fire from the chariots gonna burn them up, right? But let me see if I could just jump to the point. There's a certain part I want to read. See here. Wonder if it's in WW3, right? I think it's really in WW3 now. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, but we from 9. Right, they Joel 3 and 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Right, this Gentiles actually talking about the heathens. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. let let the weak say I'm strong, right? So all these small nations, right, they align with Russia too, right? Iran, Iraq, Taiwan, all these small nations and them, they gonna they gonna beat their plowshares into swords, and you know they're gonna have missiles too, right? They're gonna have whatever small missile they have, they're gonna use it too, right? Everything going. You understand? Verse 12, no, verse 11, it say, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, because thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Right? Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Right? So that's what's going on there, right? So the Lord basically talking about, well, this after America be destroyed, right? Because the Lord gonna gather all the heathens together, because when the Lord come through, the Lord gonna attract such a great attention. You're gonna have like a real good endurance, and all everybody gonna start fighting stop fighting against each other or amongst themselves, to fight against the Lord. You understand? But the Lord say he bringing them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? Because that is where the real war gonna be. You understand? The valley of Jehoshaphat. Right? The Lord said the wickedness is great, because um at the end of the day, putting on all them is devils too. These Moabites, these stinking Ammonites, all in them. Right? All of them is heathens, you understand? But they all have a common goal right now, as the saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You understand? So they have a common goal to fight against Babylon, because um they wanna get she out of the way, right? But afterwards, what do you think gonna happen, right? They're gonna fight for supremacy after, because China thinking they have rulership after, and then Russia thinking he have rulership after. And then the Lord gonna come in and they're gonna realize, hey, the Lord gonna come and join the war now for thing, but they're gonna try and fight against the Lord, but hey, the Lord gonna claim his kingdom by force, right? According to Daniel 2, the divine kingdom is what's next, right? Moab ain't getting nothing, and the other Amalekites, right? Y'all ain't getting nothing. Understand? Is Israelites too now. But I guess I could end it there, 'cause I just want to read a little in that. So I hope this lesson was edifying to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. With that, Shalom.